good evening, good night, however you want to phrase it. Robert Brother Blaze Murray here. Listen, if you've seen any of my previous announcements or previous videos, I've seen this coming. I've seen this coming. I only knew it was a matter of time. Matter of fact, the exact thing when talking about the Eagles, and the way we've been winning games. It's we've been doing just enough to win, and I said that it was going to be. I said we have the roster to beat the teams that we've been beating, but we don't. Our game plan and our situational football and the way we want to play football as opposed to the way we're equipped and built to play football is two different things. Two different things. And when we play better and stronger competition, that these things were going to show that it's going to come back to bite us when we play better teams. Well, it actually came back to bite us before we even got to the better teams in the league. And Florence said, "So sorry about the game." Actually, how you doing, Florence? Actually, I am not sorry about the game. Brothers and sisters, am so glad we lost this game. I'm glad the Eagles lost. And I'll explain to you why. I'm glad the Eagles lost because if we didn't lose, if we would have, I mean, look at every game we played this year except for the Tampa Bay game. Close games, playing against teams that we have more talent than, getting out coached, counting and depending on our players to perform and basically bail the coaches out. And that's the way we've been winning games. So it's it, it's I saw it coming, and it's like if somebody's speeding, you say, "Hey, slow down," hit on the brake, slow down. You know what I mean? You see yourself doing something wrong, you won't fix it until you hit something sometimes you got to get that knock upside your head, as Florence says in the comments, that wake up call. Sometimes you got to get hit, and you know what I mean, get some snot knocked out of you before you realize that you're really in a fight. And I think that our bad play, we've been getting away with bad play calling, bad situational football, and still been squeaking past games because we just have better talent on both sides of the ball. Now Jets had injuries on defense and offense, and we've had some injuries. So and even with our injuries, we still have more talent than they had on both sides of the ball. They just outcoached us. And give the Jets some credit. Robert Saleh, how his name pronounced. His game plan just shitted on our coaches. At halftime, I believe at the half we was up 14-3, and they came out in the second half and we were just outcoached. Made the adaptations they needed to make to take away what we like to do, and they did their thing. And I'll tell you what we did wrong, because it's a game we should have won, but I'm glad we lost it, because I think these coaches, if we would have won that game, these coaches would have continued doing the shit they're doing and using success as a reason to keep doing the dumb shit they're doing. Oh, we're undefeated. We're this. We're that, and that justifies them continuing to can carry on within their stupidity. This is New York, and it was chaos in the city with the fans. Yeah, hey, you know what they had? They had hey, what can I say, Florence? They give it up to the Jets. Give it up to the Jets. I'm glad the Eagles lost. I'm glad we lost. glad we lost because we didn't deserve to win. We can't play with under the philosophy and scheme that we're playing in and expect to be successful against the better teams. Really against any team because other than Tampa Bay, all our games have been close. All those teams with lesser talent have been hanging in there with the chance to beat us at the last minute or in the last possession. You know, a last chance to beat us. We don't create enough distance because we don't play smart football. So there's always a chance for a team to come back on us. Um, and only this time we didn't get away with it. The Jets actually took advantage of that opportunity, and it was just it was ridiculous to see. Number one, the first thing these coaches need to establish is that we are a run team. They want and they desire to be a pass first team. That is not the way this team is structured. That is not the personnel that we have on the field. We established that we are equipped to establish the pass attack off of the run. Establish the run, and our running game will open up the passing game. We are what this? Well, we were coming into today's game. What second in the league in rushing offense? First or second in the league in rushing? I believe second in the league in rushing offense. And your answer or your response to that is passing the ball 45 times. You're the second best rushing attack in the NFL. And you come out and you decide you want to pass the ball 45 times. And probably called a few more pass plays than that just was turns into scrambling instead of actual passes. So let's just say you call what, like 50 pass plays, let's say. Is that smart? Is that playing to your strengths? Is that smart? Running game. Let DeAndre Swift run the ball. Let DeAndre Swift run the ball. What is your fascination with Kenneth Gainwell? I don't understand it. I don't. I almost cussed on him. I don't care what he did last year in the playoffs. That don't mean nothing for this year. In what? In 5 games, in 6 games. What has Kenneth Gainwell shown you to justify him being so heavily used in this offense? What? Please enlighten me, because I haven't seen shit to warrant him getting the heavy usage in this offense that he does. I have yet to see it. I've seen DeAndre Swift effectively used as a weapon, and the more touches you give him, the more productive he will be. But you go whole series with Kenneth Gainwell. This is the things about the Eagles coaching staff that is just so damn unexplainably stupid. Unexplainably stupid. Kenneth Gainwell produces nothing to justify the amount of snaps that he gets. Nothing. He's the least talented person in the huddle on offense. Why is he in there so damn much? It would make more sense to me, of course, for Swift to be in there, but it would make more sense to shit. Why did you get Rashad Penny? Why did you get Rashad Penny? Why are you? I mean, half your red zone problems will be solved if Swift was in the backfield. If you stop letting Hurts be your best running back in the red zone. What is the purpose or the point of that? Why? Y'all just do stupid shit. You're a run football team that passes when the run is established. That opens up your passing game. Why y'all trying to outthink yourselves? You're not that damn clever, and you're easy to figure out. Maybe if you mix some things up in your scheme instead of, oh my fucking goodness, I mean, you got weapons. Goddard is a weapon that you don't really that you're underutilized. Smith is a weapon AJ Brown is a weapon. Swift is a weapon. You don't know how to use your weapons, man. This is ridiculous. It I don't know what it is y'all are trying to prove. Y'all want to play like a finesse team, but you're not a finesse team. We're not a finesse team. We're bullies. Beat people up. That's why, if you notice, our this off, especially when Lane Johnson gets hurt and leaves the game. Your starting right tackle leaves the game. Why you want to be so pass heavy? Hurts is basically running for his life half the night. If one of your important future Hall of Fame right tackle goes out of the game, run the ball, protect your quarterback. Why you got Jalen Hurts out here playing hero ball? That's not his game. That's not the strength of this team. We're not going to beat the better teams in the league with Hurts playing hero ball. You're going to get the ball. You're going to get him hurt. You're going to get him hurt, and you're going to lose more games than you should be winning. Here it is. We had an opportunity to take control of the one seed in the NFC. Opportunities right there for you, but nah. Brian Johnson as an offensive coordinator is a horrible play caller. Nick Sirianni as a coach is horrible as far as handling and correcting problems with his coaching staff. Nick Sirianni is basically a cheerleader, man. I like the guy. He's somebody I could probably sit down and have a beer with. But as a decision maker, man, these people can't. I mean, on offense, they don't have a clue because they think they're gonna. They just like they're hard headed little kids. They're gonna keep doing what they're doing until it works. Stop what you're doing. Be realistic about who you are. Stop trying to search for an identity when you already know what it is. It's ridiculous the things they do. Lane Johnson goes down, and you still back there throwing the ball, knowing that what you call boy Jack Driscoll. He's not that great in pass protection, and neither is this line really. But run blocking, yeah, good at that. And he's shooting more at right guard than at tackle. You got people, y'all got some things to figure out because the problem with this coaching staff is they suck at game planning, they don't adapt, and they don't know what to do with the personnel they have. And that's why they underutilize their personnel or simply don't use them effectively. I swear, shit, you might as well put Rashad Penny in the game. I don't know why Kenneth Gainwell is such a focal point of this offense. It makes no sense. None. I'm glad we lost this game because if you can lose a game to the Jets, then maybe it'll set in that you got some things you really need to figure out, and that your deficiencies, you're not going to always win in spite of your deficiencies. Because if you can lose to the Jets, best believe you could lose to Miami. Best believe you could lose to Buffalo. Best believe you could use to Kansas City. Best believe you could lose to damn near anybody if you can lose to the Jets without their starting corners on that defense. They're missing a few people on the offensive line. They're missing a lot of people, and you couldn't beat the Jets, led by Zach Wilson. All these other than Baker Mayfield, most quarterbacks have a field day on us. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Our problem isn't really the talent on the roster. Our problem is scheme. Our problem is scheme, game plan, the way that we decide to approach and play the game of football. Trying to be a finesse team when we're maulers. Y'all gotta stop playing around and be realistic about who and what we are. I'm glad we lost this game. We deserve to lose. You can't keep giving teams opportunities to beat you and thinking you're just going to make it every time because you're that good. This is very humbling. This is humbling for fans. And these are things I've been saying this all the time. I kept saying for weeks now. I've been saying we're not going to continue to keep getting away with this shit when we play the better teams. We're not. And the Jets aren't even one of the better teams. But here it is. These chickens come home to roost because this coaching staff is hard headed. They don't learn. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's why sometimes blessings work against people. You know what I mean? They win in spite of the deficiencies, so they ignore the deficiencies. They don't fix them. There's a few things they did. You know what I mean? There's a few things they could have did on defense. Shit, Nick Morrow and Zach Cunningham at linebacker were playing very well the last few weeks. So I mix it up and bring the Kobe Dean back, who's still an unproven player. Why? Why? There's so many things that y'all could have done. There's so many ways y'all could have disguised defenses instead of coming out in that same vanilla shit that you do. So many things you could have done. So many ways you could have things you could have done defensively to keep Zach Wilson. How you let somebody named Zachary have success on your defense? Somebody, this is his name alone. You should take offense to that. Somebody named Zachary. Come on, man. Y'all. I'm glad we lost, and I hope this is a wake up call for the coaches. I don't even put this on the players. It wasn't a great game for Jalen, but you got to put your players in situations to be successful and situations to win. By taking the running game away from Jalen, you made the game unnecessarily hard for him. You did not help your quarterback today by making him go out there and play hero ball. You did not put Jalen in a position to be successful. You did not give him a running. That's why you go out and get running backs so they help your quarterback, so they make the game easier for your quarterback. You did nothing for your quarterback today by making him drop back 45 times to win a football game when you're the number 2 rushing offense in the league. When you anytime whether it's in sports or in life, when you try to be something that you're not, bad shit is going to happen when you pretend to be something you're not. This is common sense. This ain't no metaphysical mystery. This is common sense shit. Come on, man. Stop overthinking things. I'm glad we lost. Coaches, Nick Sirianni, you know what I mean? You either got to grow or buy a brain, dog. One of the two. Bring in football people who know something instead of promoting people from within who ain't never done shit. You know what I mean? This is crazy. You can't call plays for shit, and Brian Johnson can't either. So how do you fix that problem? Somebody got to grow up and grow up fast, either you or him. Defensively, mix something up. Because I think Nick Sirianni's kind of holding the reins on Sean Desai, saying because I think he wants his defense played a certain way. Nick, you should have nothing to do with that damn defense. Let Deshaun Desai do his shit because I believe Nick Sirianni is on his heels because he's worried about giving up the big play. They play scared. We play. I mean, that's what we do. We play too scared on both sides of the damn ball. We play scared. I think we thought that this game week was going to be a game that we'd have some success in the pass in the passing game. And man, fuck, you're a run team. And if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're running the ball and stay committed to the run. The passing game is going to open up and be there for you every week. Ah, y'all so stupid. Making things hard when they don't have to be or don't need to be. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna walk around scratching your heads crazy when you either don't make the playoffs or get knocked out of the playoffs by a team who don't match you roster wise. But you know, I mean, if we want to repeat of last year, I mean, we could. I mean, fuck, it's going to be a repeat of last year. Or I mean, do you want to repeat what last year, or do you want to improve from that? How have we grown from last year? I know we lost some time, but how have we grown from last year? What did we learn from last year? What did we learn from these last few games? From what y'all are showing me, nothing. Y'all ain't learned shit. And the coaching staff got weaker, and it's showing. What's happened is the talent has remained the same and actually slightly improved on the roster. Well, except for the secondary. Our secondary is abysmal. Abysmal. Secondary has problems. But that's because we play scared, playing off the receivers and giving clean releases off the line. And it's like, this, man, we got some things, serious things to figure out. But I'm glad we lost, and hopefully this is a wake up call for these coaches. This is on the coaches. This one is on the coaches. But I'm glad we lost, and hopefully they pull their heads out of their asses. You know what I mean? Stop, you know what I mean, smelling their own shit and thinking it's sweet. And hopefully they get that dose of reality and they go back to the drawing board and see and remember what playing winning football is and what they did to make them such a winning football team. Because beating teams you're supposed to beat, that's not where you learn that. It's not where you learn that. You know what it is. That mean you gotta learn this. You gotta learn to put teams away. If you're better than them, they shouldn't be hanging around so long. So either we are playing down to their level, these coaches are in the way, or we're not as good as our record indicates. It's one or the other, and it remains to be seen which one it is. But they gotta pull their heads out of their asses if they wanna, you know what I mean, be pure gold or keep lying to themselves and doing what they're doing and keep selling us fool's gold. You know, that's all that, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes every man or every coach has to search their soul. But that's it. Glad we lost, and we'll see what they do. And we'll see what they do with Miami. High-powered offense. We'll see what they do with them. See if they learn anything. See if they get smarter scheme wise. And if we don't, Miami is not going to just beat us like the Jets. Miami's going to embarrass us on national television because they have the talent to make us look real bad. So let's see if these coaches can put their players in positions to compete with an elite offense like Miami. I got to say, after this week, I am not very confident in these coaches. Players, yes. These coaches, we'll see if they'll put them in positions to win now. We have the talent to do it. Will the coaches continue to get in the way is the question. But with that, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And if you are not doing what you love, then what the fuck are you doing? Peace, y'all. Have a good night. Go Birds. Peace.